Everyone has had a point in their life that they will always remember. These aren't always happy memories. Something I will always carry with me is how the COVID pandemic is affecting my life and the lives of those around me. The topic of COVID is new to everyone these days. A common challenge during this time is adjusting activities in everyday life to these new normals in order to satisfy guidelines. Unfortunately, this virus is causing thousands to die and affecting loved ones. Even if you haven't been affected by COVID by a death, you are still being affected in many other ways, such as your day-to-day activities. There is no question if the current pandemic is affecting us. The question now is, what can we learn from this virus by viewing how it has affected us? COVID has affected me by interfering with my life. It not only canceled my senior softball season, but it also canceled my last semester of high school altogether. These are memories that you can't get back. It has now affected my life in college as well. Being mandated to wear masks everywhere on campus and being 6 feet apart from my fellow peers isn't exactly what I had in mind for my first fall semester of college. There is an overall larger picture though. Staying safe and uniting together as a world to stop this virus from affecting us is a main priority right now. In an article, CNN provides a source that states that while young, healthy people are likely to have mild symptoms and quick recoveries, they may unknowingly carry COVID-19 to someone older or with underlying conditions who is unable to fight off the virus. This is why it is so important for young people to take precautions and to understand their responsibility. At times like this, everyone should be responsible and held accountable for their actions. This pandemic is helping the young generation learn how their actions are affecting others. Being in college during this pandemic is showing me firsthand what precautions are being taken. Colleges should only consider reopening if they have several protocols in place, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases told CNN by phone. They include testing every student, surveillance testing at various intervals, and readily available quarantine spaces. Even colleges that are taking precautions are being forced to close due to positive cases still finding a way onto their campus. An effect that COVID is having is that it is showing how dangerous the healthcare field can be, and this is making people now rethink their chosen paths. More nurses are leaving than entering the register in the UK. I, for one, am pursuing a career in healthcare, and this pandemic has certainly made me realize how dangerous healthcare can be. This is why we, as the world, should unite together and learn from this pandemic to ensure that if another similar issue should arise in the future, we will be prepared. As with many events in human history, the advent of COVID-19 has taken its toll on society, but it also provides motivation and opportunity for change. Some forgotten public health principles have been called back to mind and need to be re-embedded in our daily lives. COVID-19 has rapidly affected our day-to-day life, businesses, disrupted the world, and movements. Main subjects that are being hit hard by COVID in our society include healthcare, economic issues, and social standards. We are learning how to provide aid to these subjects and how to prepare them in case a similar situation happens again. The author of an article, Joanne Albrecht-Malon, poses a common question. So what to do when one is human in the time of COVID-19? The author then goes on to discuss different possibilities of what people can and are doing with all this time on their hands, but not being able to do all the normal things that they would typically do. I found myself doing an activity that many others in the world began as well, exercise. During this time, people are trying to regain as much normalcy as possible, while also dealing with many new things. People of all ages are being affected by this virus. This virus is causing many different types of pandemonium, from lifestyle changes to deaths. Author Mark Mather states that the coronavirus and the disease it causes, COVID-19, are affecting all Americans. Older people are most at risk of severe health issues related to the virus, but young adults ages 25 to 30 may be most vulnerable to its long-term social and economic impacts. I, for one, am already seeing the change socially. Not being able to complete a sports season, like what happened to me, now seems normal, whereas a few months ago was unheard of. One can only wonder if mandatory masks and social distancing precautions is the new normal. Some have pointed to the positive effect of the pandemic on bringing families together, but researchers have also shown that entering the job market during a period of economic turmoil can have long-term negative consequences for young adults. This is showing that not only is the virus affecting people now, but it will also affect future generations. The lessons being learned from this virus are not just national, but global. Many countries have declared restrictive measures such as lockdown, shelter-in-place, or stay-at-home orders to contain the pandemic at a local level. Although these restrictions seem harsh, they show that countries are trying to do their part in fighting this horrible virus. COVID hasn't exactly been a pleasant experience for anyone in the world. We, as a world, have to roll with the punches and learn from what we can from this virus to help further our world in the future. We need to band together and learn what we can from this horrible pandemic. We are not only learning about the virus, we are also learning about the people around us, and most importantly, we are learning about what is within ourselves.